Are you sure you're in control of your mind, or is something else controlling it without you noticing? What's truly shaping your thinking, you or your phone, your scroll, and those dopamine hits? And if you're not training your focus, is someone else doing it for their gain, not yours? Let me ask you something real. Who's really in control of your mind? Is it you, or the non-stop notifications, endless feeds, and cheap dopamine spikes? Because here's the truth. None of it is random. It's engineered, built to distract you, make you reactive, and gradually weaken your mental edge. 99% of people never realize this one thing: self-focus is a weapon. If you don't control it, someone else will. If you don't train your mind to aim it, the world will aim it for you, toward things that drain you, own you, leave you empty. This isn't about staying motivated. This is mental warfare. And the battlefield is your attention. Welcome to Stoicism Philosophy Daily. Here, we don't just talk about peace and wisdom. We train for mental combat. In this video, you'll learn how to use self-focus to silence the noise, sharpen your mind, and become calm, clear, and quietly unstoppable. Let's get into it. #1. The modern distraction trap. Look around. We are drowning in distractions. Your mind is pulled in 100 directions. Before you even open your eyes, apps, ads, scrolls, empty messages, endless noise. But here's the disturbing part. It's not accidental. It's designed. Every click, every feed, created for one reason: to hijack your attention. Because attention is currency. And right now, you're spending it without even authorizing it. You wake up with good intentions, but by noon, you're mentally drained. Not because you've worked hard, but because you've bled focus through 1,000 unseen cuts. And the worst part, most people call this normal. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But in today's world, we've flipped it. We've handed over our mental power to trends, to headlines, to opinions of others. Self-focus is how you take it back. It's not about ignoring the world. It's about mastering what enters your mental space. In a world built to hijack your focus, choosing to focus is an act of rebellion. And if you're still watching this, you're one of the few who truly get it. Drop this in the comments as a commitment. I train my mind. I guard my power. When you said I train my mind, I guard my power, that wasn't just a phrase. That was a beginning. Now let's go deeper. What does self-focus truly mean? Most people think focus just means getting things done, sitting at a desk, turning off notifications, grinding through a to-do list. But that's surface level. That's what the average mind believes focus is. Self-focus goes deeper. It's not just about doing. It's about becoming. Self-focus is the ability to turn your attention inward, not to spiral into overthinking, but to observe, understand, and train the forces moving within you. It's about recognizing what thoughts are you feeding, what patterns are you repeating, what story are you writing in your mind every day, every hour. The Stoics understood this over 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations for an audience, not for quotes, not for social media. He wrote them for himself, to sharpen his mind, to stay accountable in a world filled with chaos. That's self-focus. Epictetus told his students, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." That's not a motivational slogan. It's a battle cry. You don't need to speak louder. You need to live clearer. And that clarity begins with a simple question. Where does your attention go when no one's watching? What are you thinking? What are you practicing? What are you avoiding? Here's the hard truth. Your mind is always in training, whether you realize it or not. The only question is, are you training it intentionally, or is the world training it for you? Self-focus is the power to say, "This thought doesn't serve me." It's the power to recognize your triggers, slow your breath when your ego flares up, and protect your peace like it's your most sacred asset, because it is. And when you practice that level of awareness every single day, something shifts. You Stop reacting like the world expects you to. You stop surviving. And instead, you respond with purpose, with presence, with control. You stop chasing validation. You stop absorbing noise. You start becoming dangerous in the most disciplined way. Calm, clear, unshakable by the petty. That's the real power of self-focus. Now that you understand how self-focus strengthens not just your thinking, but your way of living, it's time to confront the hardest truth of all. The greatest enemy you'll ever face doesn't live out there. It lives inside your own head. If any of this resonates with you, take a second and drop this in the comments. Clarity is my power. Focus is my weapon. Say it with conviction. Let the world know where your attention is now headed. Part 3. The enemy within you want the truth. The most dangerous enemy you'll ever face isn't the algorithm. It's not your boss, not your past. It's you. More precisely, it's the version of you that's been trained by comfort, fear, and distraction. There's a voice in your head that whispers, scroll a little longer. You'll start tomorrow. You're not ready yet. And the more you listen, the stronger it becomes. It doesn't scream. It doesn't have to. It's subtle, persuasive, persistent. It knows your weakness because it is your weakness. The Stoics called this inner struggle the citadel, the fortress of the mind. And if you lose the battle inside, then no matter what you conquer out here, it won't matter, because the outer world will always reflect your inner state. If your mind is chaotic, emotional, and untrained, your life will mirror it. Now here's the twist, that inner enemy. It thrives when your focus is scattered. It feeds on procrastination, distraction, and laziness. But when you turn inward, deliberately, daily, with purpose, it starts to lose its grip. You start to see through the lies. You expose the patterns. You stop negotiating with your weakness. Self-focus is how you kill the weaker version of yourself. Not with hate, but with awareness, discipline, and consistent action. Because when you finally recognize that the real war is internal, you stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. You stop blaming, and you start building. This is dark psychology in motion. You either train your mind, or your untrained mind will quietly destroy everything. You're working for. So pause now. Write it in the comments like a vow. I'm no longer at war with myself. I'm building my fortress. Say it, mean it, because that is how we move forward. And next, we'll explore the core Stoic principle, master what you can control and let go of what you can't. Now that you've begun building a mental fortress, one strong enough to resist noise and inner weakness, you must confront this next truth. Real control starts and ends with your mind. But here's the hidden layer most people miss. Control doesn't come from the external world. It's rooted entirely in your mind. Every single day, you're surrounded by noise. And it's not just sound. It's mental noise, expectations, opinions, comparisons, guilt, fear. It's non-stop. And if you're not consciously filtering it out, you're unconsciously soaking it in. Until you forget the sound of your own voice. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. Yet, he still wrote to himself about staying calm, about not getting pulled in 100 directions by chaos. Why? Because he knew the world would always test his mind, just like it tests yours. The Stoic path isn't about being numb. It's about being unmoved by the meaningless. And here's the command, silence the external, so you can hear the internal. When you practice self-focus, you train your mind to respond with purpose instead of reacting automatically. That's the shift. You stop living on autopilot. You stop letting little things steal your peace. You start building a mind that is anchored and fully yours. Now here's the challenge. Every time you check your phone without intention, you're giving away your focus. Every time you let a toxic thought loop play unchecked, you're surrendering control. Every time you escape discomfort instead of facing it, you're training your mind to be weak. But not anymore. You're here, now. And here at Stoic Spark, we train the mind like a soldier trains for war. So right now, drop this in the comments. I respond. I don't react. I lead my mind. Say it like you mean it, because this isn't just a video, this is the way you live. Next up, Part 5. The Dark Edge. A truth they never taught you in school. A focused mind can control almost anything. When you master deep focus, not only does your mind evolve, the entire world begins to shift around you. You've trained yourself to be fully present, to observe without instantly reacting, to listen without needing to reply, to feel without being ruled by your feelings. That level of control is rare, and it's magnetic. People can feel it. The moment you enter a room, you speak less, but when you do, it hits harder. You move with purpose. You don't chase, you attract. And here's the dark edge. The more focused you become, the clearer you see the patterns in others. What motivates them? What scares them? What truly drives their decisions? Your self-awareness transforms into strategic awareness. And that, my friend, is power. This is what the Stoics pointed to all along, not just in a piece, but mental sovereignty. And when paired with a sharp understanding of human behavior, it's game over. But don't waste it. Don't be the one who learns this truth but never uses it. Train your mind to observe, to wait, to act only when the time is right, because in a world full of noise, the quiet ones with focused minds, they are the ones who win. If you're truly about this path, drop a comment right now. I lead with silence. I move with focus. I master the unseen. Now we move on to part 6, training like a warrior. Because it's one thing to understand focus, but it's a whole different level to train it. Daily, like your life depends on it. You can't train like a warrior if your mind keeps leaking energy through social media, pointless drama, or draining people. The final phase of mental training is building what we call mental calluses. You do the hard things. You walk willingly into discomfort. You make yourself immune to distraction by consistently practicing delayed gratification. Every time you resist a cheap dopamine hit, you are training your brain to hold the line. That's warrior training. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Translation, stop trying to look focused. Be focused. Let the results speak. This isn't about perfection. It's about practice. It's about showing up every single day with the mindset, I'm not here to feel good. I'm here to build something unbreakable. If you're truly serious about this journey, drop a comment below. I train daily. I move with discipline. I sharpen my mind like a blade. Now, let's move into part 7. Power moves, where we break self-focus into practical, real-world tactics that hit hard and drive progress. Once you've built your power moves into habits, focus stops being effortful, it becomes instinctual. The more consistently you ask your mind to return to presence, the stronger your mental muscle becomes. Power move number 5. Focus on identity, not just action. Don't just say, I want to focus more. Say, I am someone who trains their mind daily. When your identity aligns with discipline, the action becomes automatic. The Stoics lived by this truth. They weren't trying to impress others, they were trying to embody wisdom. Discipline is what gives focus its sharpness. Most people don't lack time, they lack aim. But you're different. You're here because you've made a conscious choice to aim with purpose. So if you're locked in, serious, and walking this path, comment below, my time is sacred. My focus is deadly. I choose discipline. Number 8. The unseen advantage. Now let's uncover a truth few are willing to face. Why this level of self-focus makes you extraordinarily rare. Once you understand that focus isn't just a tool, it's a lifestyle, a psychological advantage in a world addicted to chaos, the next question becomes, what will you do with that power? Before we close this out, drop one final comment below. I walk the path unseen. I sharpen in silence. I win in focus. If you've made it this far, you're not just watching. You're not just consuming content. You're becoming something. And that, right there, is the difference between the average mind and the one that dominates. Let's be honest, most people would have clicked away after 30 seconds. They're not trained for depth. They're not built for stillness. They're addicted to stimulation, speed, and surface-level thinking. But you stayed, not by accident, by choice. And that choice says something. It says there's something inside you, quiet but powerful. That's waking up. It says you're not satisfied living like everyone else. You want more than noise, more than cheap dopamine, more than the illusion of being busy. You want command, clarity, control. And now you see, self-focus is a weapon, not just a metaphor, a mindset, a way of life, a psychological edge in a distracted world. Because here's the truth, if you don't train your focus, the world will weaponize it against you. Every app, every algorithm, every hit of empty stimulation is designed to pull you away from yourself. The longer you stay in that scattered noise, the further you drift from who you were meant to become. But now you've seen it. You've seen how dangerous it is to live without intention. You've seen the quiet power of choosing discipline over comfort. And you've realized that true freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from having the strength to do what you must. That's what we build here at Stoic Spark. Not hype, not empty motivation. We build calm minds, sharp minds, relentless minds. Because that's what wins in this world. When the crowd panics, you stay still. When others react emotionally, you respond with control. When people waste time chasing opinions, you stack wins in silence. That's the power of self-focus. It's not always easy, it's not always fast, but it's real, and it works. It builds a version of you that, when you no longer just survive the day, but start leading your life with intention, everything changes. You walk into a room differently. You don't need to speak loudly or make a scene. People feel your presence, because it's not scattered, it's centered. And when your mind is centered, your actions become lethal. You stop explaining. You stop chasing. You begin to become the one they observe, silently, with awe. Here's the truth nobody tells you. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be flashy to be effective. You just need one thing: focus. In a world full of chaos, the one who remains calm, the one who stays locked in, the one who sees clearly, while others spiral, that's the person who becomes unstoppable. Not just in business, not just in fitness, not just in money, but in life, because they control the one thing that governs everything else, the mind. That's the mission. That's why Stoic Spark exists. And if you're still here, still watching, still absorbing, I don't care where you came from, what you've been through, or what mistakes you've made. What matters is this: you are now aware. And once awareness kicks in, there is no going back. So, here's what I want from you. Drop one final comment below and write, I am focused. I am disciplined. I am dangerous in silence. Write it not for me, not for others. Write it for yourself, for your future self, for the version of you that you are about to build with relentless, disciplined focus. Let's build this movement together. Like this video, not for the algorithm, but for the message. Because the more people who hear this, the more minds we awaken. Subscribe to Stoic Spark and turn on notifications. Every piece of content on this channel is created to sharpen your edge, calm your chaos, and train your mind like a weapon. We're not building followers. We're building warriors of clarity in a world drowning in noise. You ready? Good. Now, go train. I used to be someone who got distracted easily. Each morning, I'd wake up to a flood of notifications and messages, feeling like I had to respond to everything immediately. I thought I was being productive, but the truth is, I was being pulled by the world, not leading my own. Then one day, I paused. I turned off every device for just one morning. I sat alone in silence, face to face with my raw thoughts. It wasn't comfortable, but for the first time, I could hear the voice in my head, clearly, not the noise from outside, but the quiet reminder from within. This is not how I want to live. From that moment on, I took small steps. I started my mornings with 10 minutes of writing. No devices. I identified my golden hours for deep focus. I began removing things that drained my energy. I trained myself to delay gratification, to say no to cheap dopamine. I realized discipline doesn't limit freedom, it creates it. Focus isn't a talent, it's a mental muscle. The more you train, the stronger it becomes. And most importantly, silence is your secret weapon in a world that thrives on noise. What I've learned is this: when you learn to observe yourself, you start to understand yourself. When you understand yourself, you'll know what needs to change. And when you change from the inside out, the world begins to respond to the new you. So, now I ask you, what version of yourself are you building? Not someday, not tomorrow. Right now, in this moment. Are you scrolling, or are you sharpening? Are you reacting, or are you rising? Because if you've made it to this point in the video, you're not average. You're not here to consume, you're here to transform. You've seen what the power of self-focus can do. Now it's time to embody it. From this day forward, walk with calm, move with precision, and speak only when it matters. Let your silence be strength. Let your focus be fire. Let your discipline become your legacy. And remember, at Stoic Spark, we're not building hype. We're building warriors. Subscribe if this message spoke to something inside you. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the tools to sharpen your edge. And comment below. I lead my mind. I live with purpose. I train in silence. We'll see you in the next one. Now go train. Silently. Relentlessly. With fire.